We've been live the whole time.
We've been live this whole time.
Are we live?
Now you're live.
You're
Okay.
live.
Anyway,
We're back.
but excuse us for the minor technical glitch. It was all because of Yale.
No, it's all
it
because
wasn't.
of me. I
It was
broke it.
No. Zoe broke it because so many of you tuned in. The minute you saw Zoe, you tuned in and you kind of blew the whole system. Anyway, Zoe, you were
Just
saying
really quickly.
yes.
Telling people other things we're doing at Inequality Media.
Right.
So we are doing down ballot, some short down ballot race videos, which is exciting, and doing our part to bring attention to those videos. And if any of you have exciting down ballot races in your districts that you think we should cover, you should email us those suggestions at downballot@inequalitymedia.org. And while you're at it, you should go to our website, inequalitymedia.org, and sign up for our newsletter so you'll never miss any of our new, great, fantastic videos that we're working on.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of videos, and Yael and Zoe, and Yael is going to make her appearance soon, but Yael and Zoe are doing great work on these videos, as is Jake Kornbluth. And the down, when you say down ballot, some people may not know what that term means. Yeah.
It means races that aren't right at the top, not the presidential race, which you all know about and follow, but also races for Congress and local races, and they're often more important.
Yeah, so especially, I mean, every year those down ballot races are important, but on election years, very often they get squeezed out of the news because everybody's focusing on the presidential race. So we want you to be informed of what those key down ballot races are. We will continue to emphasize them. We do have this little, not so little, we have these 30-second videos we're going to be airing on this page and elsewhere about the key Senate down ballot races that are the kind of very important ways of getting back the Senate for the Democrats. But Zoe, you're saying that if any of you have a down ballot, could be a state race, something that you would like us to really focus on, give us the information.
Yeah, at downballot@inequalitymedia.org.
Thank you, Zoe.
Great. Back to your questions.
Back to your questions, but where are they? Okay. You're welcome to sit here. People might like to look at you more than they like to look at me. Okay, Robert Scoville. That was not a sexist comment, by the way. Is it possible to create a system of capitalism where unethical corporate behaviors would be illegal? Well, Robert, what you're suggesting, and what your question implies that there is a difference between unethical and illegal, and it's, I think there is not. I think that anything that we believe corporations should not be doing because it is profoundly unethical should be made illegal. If it's just corporate social responsibility or ethics, it's in the eyes of the beholder until it's made into a legal requirement. Corporations are not going to do anything that is good out of the goodness of their hearts because they don't have hearts. Corporations are just in existence to make money. And they may do something ethical or corporate or because of good corporate responsibility because of their public image, but that's not enough. Jacob Smith-Seiden, I would like your thoughts on Ken Salazar being named to head Clinton's transition team. He is pro-fracking, pro-TPP, pro-big corporations. Ken Salazar, it's a kind of, I was surprised that he was going to be named. The head of a transition team is very important because the head of a transition team really does have a lot of say over the president's agenda, the early agenda, and also the appointments. Ken Salazar is not a bad guy, but as you suggested on TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership, he's very pro-TPP. And I think that is a little bit troubling, frankly. Okay, Ed Kramer, what is Trump doing with his campaign contributions if he isn't spending it on ads and local offices and staff? He's pocketing those campaign contributions. I mean, he's made about $56 million of loans to his own campaign. You know that. Now, what happens to those loans that he's made to the campaign? Well, a lot of the campaign has turned around and bought services from Trump organizations. So it's sort of a way of paying himself in a way, and also making it loans that he can thereby. Well, he can. I mean, it's a big tax break for him. I mean, he thinks only in terms of tax breaks and tax loopholes, and any money that's coming in that is not Trump's money he's using to pay off those loans to himself. That could be why not much money is coming in. I mean, really, if you're a Trump supporter, why would you want to pay Trump? Okay, Miguel Barbosta. Should you make a documentary centered around your book, Saving Capitalism? Oh, Miguel. What a great question. It so happens that, Miguel, we are making a documentary at this moment about saving capitalism. In fact, some of you are involved in that already because we had a
Kickstarter.
We had a Kickstarter campaign, and a lot of you contributed. And on the basis of those contributions, we had enough funds to actually start our work. So we're doing that. And Jake is involved, and Yael is involved, and Zoe indirectly is involved when Zoe is not working on Inequality Media, which is all the time. And by the way, that's going to be out, I should say, probably in late January or February. That's our goal. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Julia Guam, what do you think of Clinton actively courting Henry Kissinger and Condoleezza Rice's endorsements? Yuck! That's what I think. Yuck! If she's really doing that. Henry Kissinger? Isn't he a war criminal? Okay, Ryan Weaver. Why aren't you talking about Jill Stein? Why are you talking about Jill Stein? Paulo, I don't mean to be. Was I being a little? Yeah. Okay. Jill Stein. As far as I know, Jill Stein is. I've met her maybe twice. She seems like a perfectly nice person. Look, I don't want any of us to do anything that increases the odds, even slightly, that Donald Trump will be president. If you think that you want to vote for whoever you want to vote for, that's your business. That's, vote your conscience, obviously. But I want your conscience to be fully aware if it is, even in a small degree, improving or increasing the odds that Donald Trump becomes our president. I know it doesn't seem possible now because he's melting down, but things do change. They could change. You know that as well as I know. I mean, there could be, who knows, another WikiLeaks. There could be another terrorist, God forbid, event in the United States that gives Trump even, more reason to make another outrageous comment about Muslims and act as if he is going to be the savior of America. Who knows what's going to happen? Don't be complacent, as Hillary Clinton has said. Okay, Paolo Lim, do you regret joining or associating with the Clinton administration and supporting the Democratic Party given their apparent dependence on big money? Well, Paolo, I was in the Clinton administration. I was, Secretary of Labor. I don't know, maybe you don't remember. I do remember. And I tried to do my best, and I think we got a lot of good things accomplished during that period of time. But I was troubled, quite frankly, at the time, and I've written about this and I've talked about it, by big money. And it wasn't the first administration dependent on big money. I mean, big money started to come in to American politics in a very, very, very big way, starting in the late 1970s. The Reagan administration was awash in big money, the first Bush administration, and certainly the Clinton administration. The Lincoln bedroom, renting the Lincoln bedroom. I was appalled, frankly, at some of that. When I look back on it, I think that we accomplished a lot. I'm not happy about everything that was accomplished. Supporting the Democratic Party, well, I've been very, very clear in my criticisms of the Democratic Party, and I will continue to be clear with those criticisms. I think the Democratic Party, if the Democratic National Committee is nothing but a sump pump, a gigantic sump pump for sucking up big money, then there is no integrity at all to the Democratic National Committee or the Democratic Party. And we need to seriously think about a third party. Now, I'm not sure it may be the Green Party, it may be a new party, a new progressive party that is not dependent on big money. We've got to can I just make sure we're all together on this? Because the number one goal, the only way we get a cleaner environment. We combat environmental degradation. The only way we actually get any purchase against widening inequality and help poor people and widen the middle class and improve median wages and create the kind of responsible democracy that we need, the only way we do that is if we get big money out of politics. Okay, Marshall McCam. This is we have one more question after this. Should we increase the earned income tax credit? Bill Clinton did in 1993, and it benefited millions. And you were there. Yes, I was there, and yes, we should. The earned income tax credit is secretly, most people don't know this, it's the largest anti-poverty program in the federal government. And the only problem with it is you have to be working in order to qualify, and it's administratively pretty cumbersome, and a lot of people can't find work, or they're working part-time and they don't qualify because they don't put in and don't have enough hours. So it's not the ideal. I really am in favor, and we have actually made a video about this, which we'll show pretty soon, of a universal basic income. More to come about this. Here's the last question. John Geyser. Did I pronounce that right, John? Okay. I'll guess your answer would be an emphatic no. You know, John, if you start out a question like that, it puts me, I'm ready to say no. I don't even know what the rest of your question is. But have you ever seriously considered running for public office? John, I ran for public office. Don't you remember? Thank you. Oh, Zoe, thank you. I ran for governor of Massachusetts in 2001, 2. See, this is the proof. But you don't remember. Nobody remembers. Even in Massachusetts, they don't remember. And on that lovely note, remember, down ballot at inequalitymedia.org. Down ballot. If you have a good down ballot contest you want us to feature and you want us to plug, please do. And what about your homework? By the way, do we have any responses to your homework question? No? Nothing? Nobody wrote in?
A few.
Nobody?
Just a few.
A few? Well then, you know what? That's going to be your homework assignment next week. If you don't do your homework this week, you're going to have to do the homework for next week. So, there. Just find one Trump supporter. You can do that. They're out there. There have to be. And just ask. Here's what you do. I'm going to model it for you, okay? You go up and you say, "Hello, I understand you're a Trump supporter because I saw the Trump support on your, on your car. You had a bumper sticker." See, that's one way of beginning. And you can smile, "Hello." And then the other person could say, "Who are you?" And you could say, "Well, I may not agree with you politically, but I would like to understand why you're supporting Trump." And then the Trump supporter can say, "You're a piece of shit." And that could be a kind of the beginning of a conversation. Anyway, we'll see you. Oh, yes. I wanna thank again able assistants Zoe Beck, Yael Bridge, and thank you for being with us. Next week, remember, back to regular time, Tuesday at 12 noon Pacific and 3 p.m. on East Coast, and we'll see you then. Bye.